Captain's Log, October 17th, 2025. Hello, I'm Captain Vile. Good on you, you've made it to Friday. So, some talking points planned this episode. Isn't that nice? I don't get to ramble on. Just completely unaware of where I'm going. I mean, I'm doing that now, but like I have something. There's a destination in mind, but how many steps it takes us to get there is unknown. Unlike with normal shows where I'm just kind of wandering around verbally, just going, is this something? Is that something? Maybe, I don't know. Now, this week's movie. Found out what it was a bit late to watch it. It is Trust. So, with my pick, and then my father's pick, we'll talk about it after. It will be next show, I suppose. But a movie called Trust, not seen or heard of it. Sounds interesting. Anywho, what I did watch, because I watched some stuff just on my own, and I'm probably going to be watching more movies, because I'm like, film school started again, and you watch a movie a week to discuss that. So there'll probably be 2 movies, maybe 3 if I watch one just because it seems interesting. So expect a few more. Like, I'll expect the section of the show where I talk about what I watched this week to be a little longer in coming months. Anywho, what I watched was an oddity. Asterix and the Secret of the Magic Potion in 2018. Bit of an old one. But I gave it 4 stars and said, beautifully animated and pretty funny. The only real flaw is the ending is a bit abrupt, but definitely a fun watch. Not that complex of a review, truth be told. Didn't have much to say. It's a fun movie. I did watch Mansion of the Gods a while ago, which this is kind of like a sequel or follow-up to. Not like a direct sequel. But it is just like Rome's trying to get rid of the Gauls again. But that's more of a, like... It certainly comes into the 3rd act, but it's not the main thing. Very well animated. I've never read the comics that this is from, but I believe it's from the same guy that made the Smurfs, and another story that I don't know about, or forgot. But I know there's a 3rd one, but I don't know what it is. But it's the Smurfs. And, like, I know there's been, like, Asterix and Obelix in the Big Fight or something, and it's a show. Pretty sure. I've not seen that. I'll probably check it out after this. Because that's the most recent installment in the 3D animated Asterix and Obelix stuff. But, like, the Smurfs have gotten free revivals, and Asterix and Obelix is still kind of obscure. Really? I know there's 2D animation, and there's also some live-action movies to check out, which I have not done. Singing its praises. I mean, like, you guys aren't going over there, despite the fact I'm also not going over there. Fun. But, I don't know. Smurfs, I don't know. There's not too much you can do with it, and I feel what you could do with it has already been done, so now it's just awful. You just kind of have to deal with it every now and then. And it also seems like, everything it touches it's there's Smurf promotional material where it's like Steve Jobs. It's like the Smurfs team is sending Steve Jobs some Smurf magic, and there's this image of the Smurf dressed up like Steve Jobs, and shortly after he dies. This is pure coincidence, but just everything they touch dies. And then they come out with this new one. Nothing's happened that I'm aware of, but it's just... Or no, they had the influencer Smurf, where he's like a YouTuber. And everyone's doing like when a YouTuber hits like 100,000 subscribers, they go after children. And everyone's like, oh, they're... Influencer Smurf made an apology video for this. Influencer Smurf did that. in private messages. And the movie cut him. They were like, nope, actually it's Vanity Smurf. Influencer Smurf didn't exist. These are just cursed aspects of the series. But it keeps coming back. I think I've seen some Smurfs movies. I'm trying to remember. I think I watched the one where Smurf... It's the live-action one where Gargamel escapes from prison. I think that's one where he makes the evil Smurfs. Eeny and Meeny. Because he did the Eeny, Meeny, Miny, Mo when naming them. Just laughing at this stupid-ass Smurf. Coincidences. It's not their fault. It's the world they've been brought into. The world the Smurfs have been brought into hate them. They should just... I kind of accept it and let them die. Oh, I don't want too much of the show to be talking about cursed franchise of the Smurfs and thinking about it. There's also, if you're internet savvy, if you're familiar with internet personalities from days gone, I can't remember their name, but do the Clurfs ring a bell? Is it Clurfs or Flurfs? It was a Smurf knockoff, and it was an animator. God, I can't remember their name, but they... Our previous influencer Smurf, the stuff he did, they did, and then some, in a rather revolting manner. But their whole brand was this knockoff of Smurfs, and they were open about it because it was like the Clurfs. But it's nothing good can come from the Smurfs. You should. And I'm putting myself at risk. I was about to say you should put as much distance between yourself and the Smurfs as possible, and I'm talking about them. The curse that hangs around the Smurfs is being made known. It's like with Wendigos, and I'm breaking the rule by saying them. Like, they're aware of you if you say their name. Talking about the Smurfs makes them know you're talking about them, so they're coming after you. Whatever, they're free apples high. I can take them. Okay, I've been talking about the Smurfs for a few minutes. I'm gonna move on. I don't want to, but I'm gonna move on. I didn't realize that was maybe Hollywood's onto something. Maybe it is a rich well of which to dig from. Okay. So, I had to go to the store earlier today to get dinner supplies. And whilst exiting the store, so how it's set up is the self-checkout, because I use that. I don't know. I never buy very much. I don't buy enough, so I don't warrant going to the regular checkout. Excuse me. But it's furthest from the door than the regular checkouts. So I have to walk through this very long hallway kind of thing, and then get to the exit. In which you'll obviously have to walk through people going through the regular exit, or other people doing the self-checkout. This is the same store that I bought Candy with Shame for, by the way, a while ago. But that's unimportant to the story. But this family, mother, son, daughter, kind of, they're like young. But that's not that important. But I had to walk past them because had we kept our current pace, she would have gotten through the exit first, and because it's a party of three with a trolley, I would have had to wait and had let all of them go through the door instead of just going through the door by walking a bit faster to get ahead of them. Had to do that. And there was this guy on outside of the store. He's not on the inside of the store. He's on the outside. and he's standing maybe a foot away from where the door was closing. He took a step outside and then planted his feet there, and is standing sideways and leaning kind of back. So he's facing away from where... I'm trying to think. He's facing the entrance. There's two doors right next to each other. If you're heading out of the entrance, or out of the exit, the entrance is to your left. So he's facing to the left, but turning his head to watch people walk by. And as it turns out, he's the father of, like, he's in that part of the family. And he's waiting for them. He's, for some reason, just, like, zoomed ahead of them and is waiting for them to catch up for whatever reason. Thinking about it, that's a bit odd. But he's waiting for his family to catch up to him on the outside of the store. And while walking out of the store, since he's in the door, he's not in the doorway. He's in that, like, your sibling is, I'm not in your room, I'm in the doorway or in the hallway, and then you throw a lamp at them. But he's doing that. He's an obstacle. So I have to sidestep him and then walk back to the sidewalk to start walking home. And because I was raised properly whilst doing this, I said a soft, excuse me, while walking by. Not in an accusatory manner. In like a, excuse me. Like, I apologize for momentarily invading your personal space, but I have to get by, so I'll be leaving now. Apologies. That kind of excuse me. And as I'm walking through, I hear the quietest, I wasn't in your way. And I want to turn around and go, yes, you were, buddy. You were an obstacle. I had to sidestep you. I did not make a show of it, but, like, I had to... You can imagine a sidestep. It was visible. It wasn't like a normal foot in front of the other. It was a foot to the left of the other one, and then you move that... Like... You were in my way. You little rat. You were in my way. What were you doing not helping your wife, anyhow? Because yes, I found out that he was part of the family, because whilst walking away, whilst muttering to myself, like the vindictive parasite on society I am, I looked back to see if he was still standing there, and I saw him with the mother and two kids walk into their car. I was like, oh, that's who you're with, huh? Because I didn't include this in the story, but I had to sidestep the kid, too. Wonder where he gets that from. Should have said something. But oh well. I did not, because of his behavior, because of his demeanor whilst standing in front of the doorway, I had assumed he was on some drug and didn't want him to attack me should I instigate something. But it turns out, no. He's just has terrible manners and will then pass it on to his children, and already did, kind of. So that's fun. Now you may be thinking, Captain, you're letting this one instance, you're letting this mild annoyance and then this, like, insensitive comment, not insensitive, inconsiderate comment get to you a decent bit, aren't you? And there's two reasons for that. Maybe three, but that's more of a side thing. The first reason is this is the only interaction me and this annoying man have ever had. We're complete strangers. We will never see each other again. We have never seen each other up to this point. I've done nothing to just bring this on. He's just doing this. There's just a man doing this to people. He did this. He did this to me. He's a monster. Yeah, did this. That's strong phrasing. There's just he's an inconsiderate man. And two, because I will never see him again, I can't get back at him. I cannot get even. Getting revenge. That is too strong a word for what this is. For what I want to get. I want to get back at him. I want to stand in front of a doorway and have him have to sidestep me. I'd stand half a foot in front of the door. I'd stand closer than he did. So he'd have to, like, he would probably, and he would. He probably would, you know. Make a comment like, bro, could you move? Could you move, buddy? Anyway. But I can't do that now. I can't be the vindictive little rat I am anymore. I can do that to people I know. I can't do that to him, though. Because he's a stranger. So yes, that's my main takeaway, is that this is a slight I cannot return. The world can't go blind, because I can't get an eye for an eye. What's the world coming to? That specific thing is a bit ironic, considering my next talking point is a bit related, is people are getting a bit rude. This could be just me, my experience with dealing with other people, is, when was the last time you have heard someone say, excuse me, whilst having to brush by you? Because it's always been me. I've always been the person who has to, like, at the store, or at school, or just on the sidewalk. Excuse me again. I have to, like, turn my body horizontally, so I take up as little width as possible, do a quick sidestep, and say, excuse me while doing so. It's never anyone else, because, I mean, people would do that. But people are just getting a bit more inconsiderate. This is probably more evident on the road. I mean, I don't drive. I walk everywhere, or take the bus if I can't walk anywhere. But my only kind of experience in the world of the road is the crosswalk. And you know what people don't seem to do? Indicate. They do not, for the life of them, because I have a specific road, or a specific kind of intersection that I have to cross on my way home. And it's rarely used by cars. It's by a roundabout. It's where the roundabout just begins. And it's not common for cars to turn this way, so I can understand. But when they do, they seldom use their damn thing. Seldom. I was really trying to get that one in there. I don't know if it's seldom or seldom. I don't even, that's right. I'm calling more attention to it and taking away from the thing, but I think it is seldom. It's not important. It's stupid. Get alliteration in there. And not that much, it's only 2. Alliteration isn't... what would you consider alliteration to be? A rhyme is easier to pull across. Because I think it's because rhyme is more notable, but alliteration is more... I know we're going off topic, but I find this topic more interesting than just, people don't indicate, you know. People never use their turn signal. Drivers complain about that enough, which rightfully so, but, like, I don't drive, I walk, as I said earlier. But what I do also do is a lot of alliteration and rhyming while talking. Or I try to, at least. It's fun. But she sells seashells. When does the alliteration begin? She sells? I ought to do this exercise myself. I'm realizing how much trouble I have saying it. She sells seashells by the seashore. Holy crap, did you hear that? Sore. Sore arm. My arm is sore. Not the boat is over by the shore. Shore. She sells. Now I see why it's a tongue twister. She sells seashells by the seashore. She sells... Okay, so it's shells. She sells... No, it's C. The third one, as earlier. But I haven't the time to rhyme. I haven't the time to rhyme on this dime it is a crime, and it's rhyming. It's 2, because it's immediately more, it's more noticeable. But with alliteration, what's another one that's less notable? Mapping just figurative language. Onomatopoeia is obvious because bang, it's it's onomatopoeia. I can only think of onomatopoeia. Alliteration. Diction is another one, but I suppose that's again obvious with the first one. As every time I say the word diction, I always wonder, anyone know what that word means? You remember your English class? It means word choice. It is not vocabulary. Diction is what I pull from my vocabulary. It's the choice of words that I know. Vocabulary is the words that I know. Okay. Onomatopoeia, diction, rhyme. Syntax and diction are kind of the same, but I think syntax is more specifically sentence structure. Yes, it is. But that's for, like, typing. I know I can pause whilst speaking, and that would be syntax, but that's, like, you can kind of excuse that for thinking of what to say, alright? If books had, like, 3 blank pages because the author was like, what do I want to be in this room? Let's see, a painting, an oil painting, it's in, like, a manor, he's rich, he's got art. What's the art gonna be of? I don't know, he's rich. What's an old rich guy thing? Boats? Yeah, there's a painting of a boat up there. If they don't include that, it's, you walked into the manor, and there was a painting of Theodore. As soon as I said Theodore, I set myself up for that, but I said I was gonna go for a extravagant name, so I did Theodore, and then I said Kaczynski. Theodore Kaczynski's manor. Way out in the woods. Yes. What a wonderful place to visit. He's got an oil painting up there, yes. He'll send it to you. Alright. I say, it's not gonna be a rambling one, guys. It's not gonna be a rambling episode. And what have our talking points been? Let's review, class. A movie. The Smurfs as a series and their reputation. A YouTuber who ripped off the Smurfs. A very rude man. Society getting worse. Alliteration, and basically, just figurative language. And the Unabomber. For those of you who don't remember him just from his name. Oops. There was... I don't quite get into discussing other YouTubers. I will look into his channel. Pardon me a moment. Look at this. People say this show isn't topical. No one said that. The show probably is incredibly untopical because of the title. Or not the title. The intro. Where I say the date. Because for the first couple of these, you could probably watch and be like, I wonder when that came out. But October 17th. He's a horror YouTuber, or not a horror YouTuber, horror game YouTuber, where he discusses various topics. Okay, play it essays. This is small-ish for YouTubers. Pretty large in the grand scheme of things, but small for YouTubers. 36,000. Like, there's larger YouTubers, but that's pretty big. But anyway, his channel, it's not terminated, but he's been, like, basically fired from YouTube, because it's his job. But he's been demonetized for talking about Unabomber. He made it as a joke. That's something that annoys me. is people going, I guess I see why they do it now. Because it's, in one of his videos, he read, like, part of the manuscript in a joking manner, but that was taken as support instead of as, like, because it's ridiculous. Should I be, oh, the Captain Vinyl 1852 channel does not... Yeah, no. Anyway. I'm always annoyed by people in videos going, like, joke, and then, that's a joke, guy. We got it, it's a joke. I got that from your tone. I got that from what you said, because that's a ridiculous thing that was said to make me laugh. I understood it was a joke because I found it funny. Oh, well, that's someone falling down the stairs. Like, that's not a joke, but it can be perceived as funny. But I got that it was a joke because you intended it as a joke, and I laughed at it. You don't need to have that as a joke, guys, as part of your video. It annoys me. And I mean, yeah, some people may not understand it's a joke, and there may be, like, times where a joke goes over your head, so it's just, why'd they say it like that? If it's like a reference or something, I can get that. But if, say, I'm reviewing a game or something, and I'm like, the developers did this because they suck at their jobs. That's a joke, guys. That's stupid. You understand that the bad at their jobs is a joke. It's annoying. It ruins the joke by calling you... The best way to ruin a bit is to call attention to the bit. Alright? And it's... It's just... is this Cat and Vinyl complains about YouTube, like, video essay? Not conventions, but, like, things YouTubers do in video essays. Leave mistakes in, as a joke. That's not funny. I don't laugh at you mispronouncing a word, and then going like, oh my god, English, am I right? And then adding, like, a beep as if you've edited, and then show you saying it correctly for the next time. Just put it in the next time. You can clearly edit. This isn't the stream of consciousness essay. It's a written. You have, like, visual examples. You're putting effort into this. Put effort into that. You're wasting my time, which is the most precious resource I have, and I'm spending it on you. And you're spending it on that joke? Really? Anyway. Anything else? Annoying thumbnails, where they do, like, the covering their eyes in a black bar, TV static, and, like, one word over that black bar. That's annoying. I hope that dies out soon. What else? What rich waters can I dig up from this well of negativity? I got nothing. Yeah, there's probably more I can complain about later. But I'm not going to make a video complaining about video essays. I made a video complaining about creepypastas that got a lot of attention, but I don't want to... Like... I don't want to just focus on negative things. I want to focus on things I like, that are fun to talk about. And yes, negativity is fun to talk about, as I had a grand old time belittling the Smurf's reputation. But that's really more of like a laughing at. I prefer to laugh with. It's like... Well, to a degree. There are... I'm not gonna lie. Yeah. You prefer to laugh with someone, but we'd be lying if it's not more fun to laugh at someone or something. But, as I proved via actions this episode, it's not good to dwell on laughing at or like that, because I was like, okay, I gotta put a stop to this. We can't just be riffing on the Smurfs the whole episode. So it's better to move on. It's like, I don't know, nostalgia? It's fun in small doses, but you gotta do more. Alright? Yeah, that company made a really stupid decision, and that's hilarious. But you've been talking about it for like 2 weeks. Could you move on? Kind of thing. Or that game came out 10 years ago. Could you move on? No, I won't move on. I'll never uninstall Dark Souls. Okay. Now I am rambling completely. We're going from topic to topic, and it's time to go from topic to end. I was gonna try and think of an alliteration for T for the end. I couldn't go topic to the end, but whatever. Thank you for watching, and goodbye.
Stay tuned to Gotham FM.